Hey folks, welcome to Lit Learning English Literature channel. Today's video on Formalism Part 2. So first one, defamiliarization. The Russian formalist concept of defamiliarization proposed by Victor Slavatsky in his Art as Technique 1917. It emphasizes the differences between ordinary usage and a poetic usage of a language and imparts a uniqueness of a literary work. So see here, making the familiar seem strange or new so that readers or viewers notice it in a fresh way. In everyday life, we get used to things and stop really seeing them. Literature and art break this routine by presenting ordinary things in unusual, surprising, or a poetic ways. For example, instead of saying the sky was blue, a writer might describe that a vast overturned bowl of a crushed sapphire. So sapphires means a blue gemstone. So okay, defamiliarization means it emphasizes the differences between ordinary usage and a poetic usage of a language. Okay, so the next concept is intention fallacy and affective fallacy. Okay, so author's intention were neither important nor available as a standard to judge a literary work. Author wants to convey meaning, but the reader does not get it. Then this differences between author and reader is intentional fallacy. So which means it focuses on text, not the author. Okay, so next one is affective fallacy. It's a mistake to judge a poem only by how it makes you feel. Readers might say, this poem makes me sad, so it's a great poem, or it made me bored, so it's a bad poem. But what new critics said, those are actually a personal emotions, right? Not a literary analysis. So affective fallacy means judging poem by your emotion is wrong. Okay, so intentional fallacy, don't judge a poem by the author's intention. Affective fallacy, don't judge a poem by your emotional reaction. So the next concept is Roman Jakobson in his 1956 essay Two Aspects of Language. He proposes that language has a bipolar structure oscillating between the poles of a metaphor and a metonymy. Jakobson notes that in literary romanticism and symbolism, metaphor has been widely used while metonymy has been predominant in realism. In any symbolic process, there is always the competition between the metaphoric and metonymic devices. So this is what the concept of a metaphor and metonymy by Roman Jakobson. Okay, so the next concept is I.A. Richards. In his Practical Criticism 1929, he identified 4 kinds of meaning: sense, feeling, tone, and intention. Okay, so sense, what is said by the writer; feeling, the emotion towards what is being said; tone, attitude towards the audience or a reader; and intention, writer's conscious or unconscious aim or the effect that he or she is trying to produce. Okay, so this is what I.A. Richards 4 kinds of a meaning: sense, feeling, tone, and intention. So please also check out. He also talks about principles of a literary criticism, the theory of a language, and the 2 uses of a language, the scientific and the emotive uses of a language. Okay, so next, the concept William Emerson's Seven Types of Ambiguity, 1930. He explains how a single line or a word in a poetry can have a multiple meanings, not just one fixed meaning. He calls the richness of a meaning ambiguity. Okay, he explained 7 kinds of ambiguity when one word gives many meanings, like leaves, meaning both falling and ending life. When two meanings fit together perfectly. Third one, when two meanings contrast but still make sense. Fourth one, when one meaning slowly changes into another. Fifth one, when the poet feels inner conflict between meanings. Sixth one, when the writer and the character mean different things. And finally, when the meaning is so deep and complex, it can be clearly explained. So this is what William Emerson's concept of 7 types of ambiguity. And the next concept is F.R. Lewis's The Great Tradition, published in 1948. The great English novelists are, according to F.R. Lewis, Jane Austen, George Eliot, Henry James, and Joseph Conrad. So the 7 types of ambiguity and F.R. Lewis's Great Tradition, they often ask in your examination. So please do check out the whole information about these concepts. Okay, so greatest novelists according to F.R. Lewis are Jane Austen, George Eliot, Henry James, and Joseph Conrad. These writers not only change the possibilities of art for readers, but also promote an awareness of the possibilities of life according to F.R. Lewis. Okay, so the next concept is Cleeth Brooks, The Language of a Paradox, published in 1942. He says poetry is full of paradoxes. That means it says two opposite things that reveal a deeper truth. For example, John Donne's line, "Death thou shalt die." How can death die? Right, it's impossible that death shall die, but the poet means spiritual victory over death. Okay, spiritual victory over death, a deeper truth hidden in a contradiction. So this is what the concept of the language of paradox. Okay, so he says poetry is full of paradoxes. That means it says two opposite things that reveal a deeper truth. And next one, J. Hillis Miller, The Critic as a Host, published in 1977. He says that critic and an author are like a host and guest. Each depends on the other. So criticism and literature are interdependent. There is no final meaning, only continuous interpretation, according to J. Hillis Miller. So he talks about that author are like a host and guest. Each depends on the other. So also you have to check out about the details of what is connotation and denotation, and also the Chicago school or a neo-Aristotelians. Okay, so this is about formalism part 2. Thank you. Like, share and subscribe.